Welcome back. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the boat trailer and basically everything that went into getting this thing back on the road. From wheels to bearings to hubs. I know they keep on saying this thing is free, but we're going to find out how much free exactly is by the end of this video. Like I said in the last video, this thing hasn't been on the road in 20 years, or at least hasn't been registered in 20 years. Who knows how long the last time it was on the road was. The first thing I did was made sure to spray everything down with penetrating fluid. I knew that I broke a couple hubs off earlier, and I don't want that to happen to anything else. Surprisingly, the winch was actually in pretty good condition. All it really needed was a quick sanding. The jack, on the other hand, that thing broke as soon as I started cranking the handle. I'm going to have to buy a new one of those and mount it. Considering I'm going to be buying a whole bunch of new parts, I decided to take measurements of everything. The jack, the hub, the wheels, diameters of everything, so that way I could buy what I needed from Amazon. After getting all of the measurements, I jacked the thing up using my car jack and then put it on a couple jack stands. I then got the wheels off and started taking the hubs out. It was actually pretty easy. All I really needed was a rubber hammer and actually just a regular hammer, and just beat the hell out of those things and pulled them off. The grease inside of the bearings was hard and tacky, and it definitely needed to be replaced. So I guess I can get an entire kit off Amazon or eBay or whatever the easiest place to find it is. After I was done pulling the hubs off, I gave the axles a quick sanding with some emery cloth I had in the car. There was all this black gunk and grease just stuck to the axles, so I wanted to get it smooth for the next hubs to go on. You can see here I got the tires loaded up in the SUV and ready to take out. They were F78-14s. I have no clue what that means. I dropped the tires off at Goodyear, and the next day I picked them up and decided to give the rims a quick sanding and painting. You can see I used the playing card method to tape everything off. I learned this trick from, I don't know, a YouTube video 5 years ago or so, and I've done it with all my wheels since then. In fact, pretty much everything I learned here I found from YouTube or the internet. Like I said, I really don't know what I'm doing most of the time here, so I'm just kind of learning as I go. The new hubs didn't come with everything I thought they would. I end up having to reuse the castle nut and the grease fitting, and the cotter pins, I had new ones sitting in the garage, so I just used new cotter pins. Try not to use the old ones whenever you can. Sitting in my garage, I assembled the back of the bearings into the hub. Ended up being pretty easy. I just bought some marine grease and a grease gun, greased the hell out of the bearings, and then got a 2x4 and put it on the back side of the bearing and smacked it inside of the hub. I watched that trick on a few YouTube videos, and it ended up working really, really well. The next day, whenever I got back to the trailer, I think I had both wheels and hubs assembled within 45 minutes, a half an hour. It was actually super quick, super easy. Wasn't expecting that. You can see here how I'm running new lights for the light kit that I bought from Amazon. I made sure to get a submersible kit. All I did was tied off the ends of the new wires to the old wires and pulled everything through. Ended up being really, really easy. The new tires and bearings didn't make any noise at all when spinning them, and they actually spun really free, and I was very happy with how it turned out. This thing's got to go on the highway to get back home, so we're going to be going 65 miles per hour probably, so I want to make sure that this thing actually holds pretty well. Putting the new lights on the trailer and running all the wiring was extremely easy. If you can change wheel bearings and whatnot, the lighting is simple. In fact, it took me more time getting the old crappy rusted bolts off here. I actually had to hacksaw a couple of them off. It took me more time doing that than actually putting the lights on. So if you ever have a problem with your lights, you know, a couple of them are going out, something is going wrong with your trailer, I recommend just changing it out. It costs 30 bucks. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention. The light connector was a 4-prong style, while the light connector on the back of my dad's Chevy Silverado was the 7-prong style, so I had to buy an adapter, 4-prong to 7-prong adapter. Ended up being like 10 bucks or something like that. The total cost of everything trailer related included the grease gun, marine grease, wheel hub dust caps, tires and balancing, swivel jack, the 3,500 pound wheel hubs, and the submersible trailer lights. The total after tax ended up being $356.15. Keep in mind that doesn't even include registration or title transfer. I have yet to do those. Stay tuned for part 3 where I try to get the boat out of the water and onto the trailer and back to my house.